I'm BugeyeBob, and I'm on a mission to resurrect this 1958 Austin Healey Mark I Sprite from this to this so it doesn't end up in this. BugeyeBob here, back at you. Been a rough week. Had a bad storm come through Saturday, which took out our power for 12 hours, and it also took out our internet for 4 days. Then my son and his family stopped by for Mother's Day. So this video is going to be a little bit short. I'm going to go through and explain some of the things I'm doing, and we'll carry on from there. Not sure how long it's going to be, but I think it's important to get something out. So let's take a look at this mess. You'll notice that I have painted the areas inside that I had stripped down to almost bare metal. Bare metal and what they refer to as solid, slightly rusted metal. Covered that down with primer. And then this copper colored area here is the area where I've got to do some welding. So that's weld through primer. What I'm doing right now is I've gone through and straightened this edge up. This is where the floor pan hooks into these two front pieces here. And I'm cutting this mess out of the way so that I can get this panel out, because that panel was damaged in the accident, but it's rusted out down at the bottom. And I need to get this other panel here, that one right there, which is the back of the wheel well. I need to get that repaired also. So I went through and took a bunch of paper. I took a bunch of this thin poster board, and I actually took kind of random pieces of it and stuck it in here to get kind of the outside shape done. So I might line a piece up like that, and then another one up that would go up along this edge here, and like so, and taped them all together. There's a couple of spots, I don't know if you can see it. Let me grab a little light, maybe I can highlight that a little bit better. There, you'll see that there's a little bit of a bolt sticking out. So I pressed the paper down around that bolt so that I got a good impression of where it needed to be, kind of like that. And you can see that it leaves a fairly good impression of, maybe I can bring it up a little bit closer, it leaves a fairly good impression of where the bolt needs to go through. And came up with a pattern that fits this piece. This piece goes up and wraps around and goes against the left side of the footwell. It goes against the right side of the footwell, and it comes down and meets the floor pan. So when I was all done, I ended up with this shape, and then I went around to the other side and flipped it over, pressed it down so that I got where the bolt hole needs to be on the other side, and punched that hole through. So this is just poster board. I don't know how thick it is. I suppose I could measure it. Yeah, hell, let's do that. So this poster board is 0.0125 of an inch. So, hell, whatever that turns out to be in millimeters, that is 0.32 millimeters. Fairly thin stuff. I actually wish I had something that was a little bit thicker. So I'd really like to have something that was a little bit closer to the thickness of the steel that I'm using, because that would make it easier to get the bend line locations in the correct spot and things like that. So if I take these and bend them like that, take this and bend it like that, and bend this like that, bend these up, what I end up with is a piece that fits in right there. Fairly well, except for the damage up in this corner. And it fits in very well on the other side. So, got to make two of these. I will probably cut them out with the plasma torch somehow, because that just seems to be the fastest, easiest way for me to cut metal out. And nip these in here out, and file it out manually and stuff, I suppose. I'm not sure how wide to make these tabs. I thought they were like 1/2 inch, but I found them in places where they're closer to 9/16 and some places 7/16, so it's a tough call. But that's that part of it. And like I said, what I'm doing right now is I've been going through using this air-powered saw to cut down through like this, to get that cut down there, and that cut there, and that opens all of that up so that I can get inside and see how bad things really are here. So as you can see, when this side got damaged, when this rocker panel got pushed in, it bent this right in here. So there's a bend that goes back this way and comes down to here. And that, so I've got to replace from like right here to down here, which I suppose I could do by cutting an angular piece, a triangle, and sticking it in there. But I'm not sure that that's the right way to do it. I almost think the better way to do it is cut a piece that covers this whole thing and make sure I go far enough up that I think, yeah, so if I go down right about here is where that panel is spot welded in the inside. I found this 180 grit sheetrock sandpaper, which is a kind of a mesh with the sanding surface on it. Seems to work very well on these rusty surfaces.
Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. You can now make a one-time or recurring donation to help save Lazarus through PayPal. For less than the price of a cup of coffee each month, you can support this project as a member on Patreon.
Pretty certain there's another one right there. There's one there, one there, one there. It looks like one there. So yeah, there's a bunch of spot welds in there. So that's what we're about. Trying to get the pieces made to fix this up. We're back at it. Pardon the fan noise, but it's 90 degrees in my garage, or better than 90 degrees. Okay, so here's what I'm doing. I'm drilling out spot welds, and down in this area right here, I can't get the drill in at an angle where I can drill those out. So what I'm using is a carbide burr on the die grinder. And basically what I do is I grind down until I start seeing a shadow line where it's obvious that I'm separating the metal apart. So like this. I got a shadow line right around there. Now on these I can, well this one I couldn't very well, but on these I can get the drill in, but the drill it's kind of hard to get started and it wants to wander when you're starting. So what I did there was I took this and just gave a little tap like that to put a divot in those spots. to give it a place for the drill to go in. And that seems to work pretty good. Now you'll notice that I'm wandering the drill around like this. And the reason for that is that cuts the outside edge faster than if I just try to go straight down in. What I want to do is I want to cut this piece of metal away from this piece of metal, but I don't want to cut all the way through because that just leaves me a big hole to fill. So that's what I'm trying to do here. And it seems to be working pretty well. Now there, I can see I actually did puncture all the way through, but it's a tiny hole, it's not a big. I don't know, I might have punched through on that. No, I didn't go all the way through, but it's kind of hard to tell sometimes. Now let's see. I've got to try to hit these spots up here, which I'm going to have to use the die grinder on. Put this piece of leather down, this leather apron down, folded up so that I wouldn't be running my arms on that sharp shock. Oop, let me get some earmuffs on. That's a little noisy. The irritating part about this die grinder is this damn thing here that's on the hose to keep it from sucking up too far into the hose reel. And it just seems to be inconveniently located. See it there. I'm going to turn this around.
Some folks measure their success by the labels in their suits. Some folks let their family ties choke them like a noose. But not me, my friend. No, not me, my friend. No, no, not me. Not me. We all got to die, and when it's my time, I'm gonna die living, die living. So give me wings in a guitar case, show me to the stage. Let me loose and I will play, I will. But hold me back or tie me down, trap me under a golden crown, and watch me blow this nothing town. I will die living, die living. Some folks argue politics till it drives them mad. Some folks let their problems shine.
The problem I'm faced with is these right here aren't loose and these up here aren't loose, because I couldn't drill those out. This piece is being replaced, so I don't much care about ruining it.
We all got to die, and when it's my time, I'm gonna die living, die living. So put me on a jet airplane and take me to a foreign place and could fall in love with a stranger's face, I will. Show me something I ain't seen. Take me someplace I ain't been. I got my music.
So it looks like we've broken apart all across the top mostly. Oops. There's that. And really, yeah, it's just damn wonderful. This is the side that was bashed in where I could afford to have the damage from taking it all apart, and it came apart fine there. The other side that I didn't want damaged, that's the one that got busted up. All right, let's talk about this piece right here. Right here on the inside of this looks like a bolt, but it was actually, or it looks like it might be a bolt running through from that way, but it's not. This is actually a nut that was welded onto the bottom of this plate so that the, I think the bolt for the dimmer switch connects onto this. The bottom of this piece from, you know, pretty much right about where that dark line is from where the weld held the pieces together, down this way, and from here to here and here down has to be replaced in this piece. This piece here, you may not be able to see. So this piece here, that piece right there has got to be straightened out. That's no big deal. The rest of the stuff in there looks pretty good. This piece right here, that right there, which you cannot see, this piece right here needs to be straightened out, which I can get at now to get it straight. This just needs to be cleaned off. This piece here needs to be cut out. The outer rocker sill needs to be cut off. This front to rear brace needs to have a patch put in it. I don't remember what the hell that thing's called, but whatever it is, it needs to be fixed. This stuff here that you see is part of the floor pan. Looking down at that hole that I made, what a god-awful mess that is. Oh well. It does what you got to do to get what you got to get done. Okay, folks, this is a quick lesson on why, when you are using air-powered tools with sharp pointy things on the ends of them, you want to be extremely careful and not rush things. They always say to use one of these with a cutter on it for cutting spot welds, and you just put it in there and you hit the button and go, and it just cuts right through that and splits those spot welds apart, and that's a great way to do it. Well, in some instances, yes. In this instance, the answer is hell no. Because while I was cutting all this stuff out, it all looked like it was all coming apart just fine. And then when I finally pulled the piece out, that's what I had left. Big goddamn gaping hole that I now have to go back and patch. So the lesson here is I should have spent more time grinding through these spot welds with the burr, which I could get in there, and I should have been a hell of a lot more careful using that air-powered chisel, spot weld cutter, whatever you want to call it, to cut that piece out. Because right now I've got to go back, I've got to dolly this back down, I've got to cut out a piece that will fit in here, and I've got to weld that back all in together. So that's the lesson, folks. Take your time, do it right. I'm sure I was probably hot and sweaty and in a hurry to get the hell out of the garage because it was 95 degrees and all of that, but take your time. That's the lesson. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Click the like button. Really helps, folks. If you click the like button, and that helps these videos get lets YouTube people know that others are interested in these videos, gets them put out there. If you feel like supporting the channel, which would be greatly appreciated, you can join as a member over on Patreon for, I think it's $4 or $5 a month. I don't remember which it is. And on YouTube, don't have membership set up there yet, but I might in the future. And you can always do a one-time or recurring donation to the channel through PayPal. So check out the link below for that. Thank you very much. Hope you have a great life, and we will see you in the next video. Over and out.
Well, folks, that's it for this episode of BugeyeBob. I really appreciate you watching and hope that, like me, you've learned a few things to do, or maybe not to do, in this episode. Please like and comment on this video as it encourages YouTube to share it with others and helps grow the channel. Make sure you subscribe and click the bell to get notified when new videos are released. If you'd like to support this channel and save Lazarus from the recycle furnace, you can now make a one-time or recurring donation through PayPal. You can also support this restoration project by becoming a member at patreon.com/BugeyeBob. Patreon members get early access to the videos, and in the future will enjoy question and answer sessions and live streams. As this channel grows, future Patreon member benefits will include bonus or extended videos, member names in the credits, and the ability to suggest topics for future videos. You can follow this BugeyeBob restoration on YouTube and Facebook. You'll find the links in the description below for PayPal, Patreon, YouTube, and Facebook. Once again, thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and supporting this channel.